This is One Fat Boy, and here are my NBA game predictions for February 14th. Tonight there's 9 games, and we'll be going over the spreads and over-unders for each of these games. For the Pistons at the Wizards, so first and foremost, I would not recommend betting on this game at all, as these are kind of two tanking teams in the East. But if I were to lean towards a spread on this, I'd lean towards Detroit +4, just because with the recent trades, the Wizards are probably a little down in the dumps. They have Porzingis out, and then they don't have Dinwiddie anymore, so that's just less people for the Wizards, so got to play more role players on their case of Detroit. They're not that great of a team. And overall, these two teams probably going to be a little offensively challenged this game, like usually Detroit is. And the way the Wizards have been playing, like past month, past few weeks, has not been great overall either. So hence why I'm leaning towards an under 218 for this game. But overall, this is a game that I would not touch under, unless you just know how Detroit or the Wizards play. I would not bet on this game. For the Thunder at the Knicks, I will lean towards OKC +8.5. So a lot of Knicks games, they're usually fairly close. So, and then the way the Thunder have been playing, it should keep them in the game, as well as they get a lot of loose balls. Just they get some effort plays. So hence I'll be going with OKC +8.5. We'll be going over 206.5, as that's where the current spread lies. And both these teams are not great offensively, but 206 is pretty low for a total game for a NBA game. So hence I'll be going over for it, as the Knicks offense as of late has been scoring at least 100 points each game over their last 4 or 6. So it's a good trend for them. Then if OKC can just keep it close, it should go over 206.5. For the Kings at Brooklyn, we go with Sacramento -4, as Brooklyn is on an 11-game losing streak, and Sacramento's, I believe they're on a 2-game win streak, so just have to lean towards the Kings with Sabonis now, who's been playing very well for them. So I see him continuing to play well, have his way against Brooklyn. And I'll be going over 224.5, as neither team's defense is that great, so expect a lot of points to be scored. Even though the Nets don't have their star players right now, just they have enough like high-scoring role players who will step up and fill in those spots. I think they'll be able to get through the defense of the Kings. But overall, the Kings should win this game. For Toronto at New Orleans, I'll be with Toronto -5. Toronto, I'm sure, wants to redeem themselves over the last game, and there's enough tools on Toronto, and they really match up well against guarding like Ingram, who's the main person for New Orleans. So as long as they can keep him under control, I think Toronto should come away with a win without a hitch. As long as like Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and if like Gary Trent Jr. or OG Anunoby can get going, they should run away with this game. I will lean towards under 222.5, as the Pelicans' offense, I do expect Ingram to struggle, or at least have to attempt a lot of shots to get his points. So if their offense is struggling overall, that means the Pelicans won't score that much. Then Toronto, they're usually in that like 105 to 118 range for their total points. They really don't stray too far from that. So hence I'll just go under 222 for the total. For Portland at Milwaukee, so Milwaukee, during the second half of the season, they should be trying to like get into that playoff mode, win the games that they should win, and this is one of those games that they should win. Shouldn't have a problem being Portland, as who's going to really slow down Giannis on Portland? No one, let alone like Chris Middleton or Drew Holiday. No one on Portland should be able to slow down anyone on the Bucks. So hence why I just have to go with Milwaukee -15. This should be a game that Milwaukee should try to win in the first half and just use their bench players to finish out the game against Portland. Also, it's their first game back at home, so another boost for the Bucks, as they want to cleanse that loss from the Suns, that beat down of a game, and just beat down on the Blazers. We'll be going under 232, as Milwaukee, they'll score a lot, but I don't think Portland's going to score too much. Like they shouldn't score more than like 105. But if they do cross that, that's because literally the Milwaukee played their second string for the entire second half. So hence I'll be leaning towards the under 232. But Milwaukee should win without a problem. Should be able to cover that minus 15, but honestly I'd bump that down to like a minus 10. For the Spurs at the Bulls, going with Chicago minus 5.5. I'm sure DeRozan wants to beat his former team, so it's going to put a lot of weight on that and just say that's going to be Bulls winning. Will he score 35 again? I wouldn't be surprised, and I'd almost be comfortable betting that. Probably lean towards like the plus 30 for him. Oh, over 30 points. 35 for that would be like a 6 game in a row. That's quite impressive, but do I see it? I could see it. I will be going over 233.5 as the defense for both these teams have been not so great. They've been winning their games through their offensive play. So that's why I'm going to say this will go over 233.5. Bulls, they do have the better offense overall with their tools that they have, so hence I'll be leaning towards a Chicago win. For Orlando at Denver, we'll go with Denver minus 10.5. I think Jokic shouldn't have a problem with anyone on the Magic. It's just be more of him getting his team involved, and if the Magic go cold, which is possible, they are a young team, but I think overall they'll still hit their 105 to 110 points, somewhere in there. But I think Denver will be able to pick apart the Magic's defense and get what they want when they want. So hence I'll be leaning towards a Denver minus 10.5, even though I'd probably just personally maybe bump that down 3 points, 3 points. I will be going over 225 as, once again, Magic, they'll shoot, and they'll keep shooting, and they do make their shot. They've been scoring a lot more as of late. And Denver, well, they have to cover the spread, so they have to score more than the Magic. And if I think Magic's scoring between 105 110, that means Denver has to be in that 115 to 120 range, which bring it over 225. For the Rockets at the Jazz, going with the Jazz minus 14. So most Rockets games as of late, the last 6, they've been decided by more than 10 points, and that goes either way for the Rockets. But I think Jazz, they've been playing well. They have their players back. They got Gobert and Mitchell back. So with that they've been playing, the Rockets shouldn't have an answer for the Jazz. Jazz should be able to score what they want and then build a big enough lead in the first half or get a big run in the third quarter where they should be able to play their second unit in the fourth quarter. And I think that's where they'll make up a lot of the points. Houston will make up a lot of points to get to the over 229.5, because I think Utah should be able to score 120, no problem. They should be able to go over 125 easily, as Rockets play not great defense, maybe no defense at all, as most of their games are high scoring, and that same goes to the Jazz. But I think the Jazz defense will lead them in the first half, allow them to rest their players in the second half, as they'll have a large lead. So Utah should win, no problem. They should be able to win by more than 10. For Golden State at the Clippers, I'm going with Golden State minus 6. I'm sure that they want to beat both LA teams in the same week, so hence I'll be leaning towards a win for them, as Warriors are one of the better teams in the league by far. And the Clippers, they're just 500 team in the West, so they got to just stay afloat, stay in the playoff race, but this is just going to be a tough game for them to win. They're going to, obviously try and keep it close, just keep it close where they can just maybe steal at the end, but I think Golden State, they're good at closing out games. If they're ahead in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go, if you foul them, they're going to make their free throws. You got enough plays to just keep that lead going into the fourth and towards the end of the fourth. It shouldn't come down to that, as they should be able to win by 6, but I'd probably just lean just towards a Golden State win. I will be going under 222.5, as Golden State games, their defense is very good. If they can just disrupt how the Clippers play, Clippers probably won't be scoring that much, below 105. And then Golden State, not the highest scoring team. They usually keep it below like 120. They'll probably be in like that 112 range for this game. As the Clippers, they can play some defense. So hence I'll be going under 222.5, as this game will likely be won or be decided by defense. Thank you for watching. Comment any of your thoughts on the games overall, any like player props or spread predictions that you have, and once again, thanks for watching.